Ding-a-ding.
Ding-a-ding.
Ding ding.
Alright folks, we promised you a brainstorming video on our deck tech for our random card selection we did. So we are starting out this deck building off of the Ramunap Hydra that we selected last week. So
Hydra.
we're going to run 4 copies of that because that's our card we're building around. So that's the first thing out of the gate. 4 copies of Ramunap Hydra. It is a 3/3. It gets +1/+1 if you have a desert on the battlefield, and it also gets a +1/+1 if you have a desert in your graveyard. So it can be a 5/5, vigilance, trample, and haste. So I think the first thing that Edwards and I both thought of, Brian,
That's me. Hi guys.
was the Ramunap Excavator that lets you pull lands from your graveyard and play them. That's the one right there. Little 3-drop. You can play lands from your graveyard. It's a 2/3. So it's a decent creature by itself, but the ability really, I think, will play well into this deck. So then we started thinking about the land base, and I think I don't know which ones yet, but we obviously have to have deserts. So we're going to be running some copies of deserts as we go through this brainstorming process here. We'll figure out which ones, what color combination we're going to use, and go from there. So now we're going to start talking about this deck. Let you guys just kind of overhear what we're coming up with. I know some of you just get online and find decks to build, and some of you are just building out of your collection. So we're hoping that this little process we go through every week will kind of give you an idea of what we do when we're building decks and help you along the way so that you can build better decks without just having to go online and find a pre-built deck pretty much. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, check out our other videos with some giveaways and things, and here we go. So if we're running the Excavator and we're running the Hydra.
So we need deserts. So obviously
The green, obviously the greens, because we got a green base already.
For start. So desert of Indomitable. Are you wanting me to put these on the screen, or are you going to go ahead and?
You can put them up there.
So obviously it's a simple desert. And there's battlefield tapped. You can tap for a tree or for forest. You can cycle also as well, so it's an option there to go ahead and get it in your desert.
Yeah, that's good because we can cycle it, draw a card, and if we've got this out, we can then play it.
Yeah, so you're not really losing your land at that point. I mean, you are for a quick minute, but it'll go right back on the field.
But those are good pairs. So I'll probably run 4 copies of that.
I'm trying to think what other deserts. What other deserts? I mean, for green right now. Let's see. We're not sure if we're going to another color yet. Let's see. What can?
Let me look up deserts here.
I'm trying to. The hard part is, sometimes you can search them all up online, and which is a lot of people do. But I've got all my cards, all my standard cards here, so we can flip through stuff and find out what's going to benefit us. As far as those, I don't mind pulling them back out and looking through them. It's all good. It's fun. So we got Sunscorched Desert. Enters battlefield. It deals 1 damage to target player. Just a single mana. Nothing exciting, but it's a desert. Regardless, we might use it for something.
Well, another good thing about this is if we can use some of these other sacrifice a desert lands, then we can sack that one, replay it, do more damage.
Yes.
And you can, some of those, like the green...
Cradle the Accursed.
Yep, that's the one I was just looking at to create zombie tokens. So we've got a... Alright, let's think.
Let's think what?
We know we need a bunch of deserts.
Alright, well I'm just trying to think of the deserts.
No, you're fine. We need to figure out what color combination, if any combination at all, we're going to go with.
Alright, well...
Because that's going to change our mana base.
What does the Hydra do as well? It says...
It's got trample, vigilance, and haste.
No, that's not bad. So there's three big things right off the bat.
What's the green creature that gains the abilities of your other creatures?
Is it from...
Matriarch? Something?
The Majestic Matriarch.
Yes.
Or Matriarch. Is it Matriarch? Matriarch. Yeah.
Matriarch.
Matriarch. I don't have one of those!
You don't?
No.
Uh,
But I know I've heard. I don't think anybody's really ever used one in the decks we've played here.
let's look him up.
Yeah, it's Mariarch.
Its
That's
power
right.
and toughness are each equal to twice the number of creatures you control.
Ooh.
And at the beginning of each combat, it gains flying, first strike, double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance if you have a creature with that ability. So
Okay, then.
since we've already got
Three of well, haste is haste, but trample and reach is that what it was on?
trample, reach, and vigilance.
That's vigilance. I thought it said haste.
So that
For the not that one, but the other one.
the
Or one we're
Hydra?
doing. Yeah. Maybe you said vigilance. I thought you said haste.
I may have said haste and
In haste, you said haste. Okay, so having said that, that's obviously a good combo because both of them out there in the field of play, the creature.
yeah, vigilance, reach, and trample.
Yeah. So the Mariarch will have all three of those. That's three good things right off the bat. So heck, okay. What else can we do? That's a good combo. Do you want to? We'll keep that creature in mind whether we do three
That's
or four
a-
of that one.
That's a 5-drop, so that kind of fits into our curve too, because this
Okay.
is a 3, this is a 4.
5-drop. Do you want
That's
to
a
put
5.
Ronus out there, the monument, to possibly cheapen the cost of that when the time comes, plus the trample and plus 2/2?
Maybe.
an option?
Oh, the trample would be good. Oh,
Yeah.
we've already got trample.
Well, I know, but it gives the other creatures. So not only the Mariarch, but if you have other creatures we put in there, those creatures will get it.
What's the maybe?
Okay, well, Ronus Monument, maybe possible. I don't think I have one. I have some of those are in the deck I'm already playing.
What
So-
if we? This is another green one, so I don't know if we're gonna stick just solid green or not. But what's the new dinosaur that makes it so you can play multiple lands per turn?
That's also in a deck I just got played. That's
Where's that at? Oh, it's over here. Hold on.
Is it Wayward
Wayward Swordtooth?
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 Because if we could play a desert and sack a desert and then replay it,
Foil! Ha ha ha!
that might be a good option.
Yeah?
That's a
So-
free draw.
And you do get the Ascend when you get your 10 permanents out there. That allows it to attack. So it's a cheap drop, and most of the time, unless somebody's really concerned about your mana, excessive mana tossing, then they're going to leave it sitting there. They're going to be like, oh, who cares? You can't use it till you get 10. So
Yeah.
that's a good one.
And if we combine it with that, then you can cycle this and play it from the graveyard and play something out of your hand.
Yeah.
Or if you cycled it, or use this one's ability and sacrifice it, then you could replay it,
Yeah.
even if you've played another land that turn. Or you could sacrifice this one, replay it, sacrifice it again, and replay it again.
Right.
Because you can play
Twice.
two lands.
So this only applies. This still applies like if you didn't have a land that turn, but it happens to be one in your graveyard that counts as your land with that turn.
Yeah.
But this gives you 2. Yeah, that's excellent. I like that. I like that combo.
So if we're going to use these, that's what? That's
Are we gonna-
1, 2, 3 creatures.
Yeah.
So
Plus
we
the
run-
Mariarch, so that's 3 creatures there. If we're going to do all four for all of them, I know obviously that's 3 plus our main card. That's 4 creatures.
Oh yeah, the Mariarch.
So we're doing 4 Mariarchs. Are we gonna not Mariarch, but the Hydra? That's our main card.
4 of the Hydra.
So we're running 4 of the Hydra. Are we gonna run 4?
Maybe 4 of these and 3 of these.
And then 3 of the Mariarch too as well. Or you want to do 4 Mariarch because it's expensive?
Maybe 3. Yeah, it's
Just
instead
leave it
of
at 3.
3. It's pretty expensive.
Because these ones are just like the Ramunap Investigator and the Hydra. Those are the lower drop ones. So I guess we can go. We'll look into that. We'll keep that as an option.
So then we need, if that's our first 4 creatures, and we said what, 3 of 2 and 4 of another, and 4 of 2.
So if we do 4 and 4 of the cheaper ones, that's 8, and then do 3 and 3, so that's 6 more. So that's 14 creatures right there.
So we probably need to double that. Well, not quite. Maybe go for like 25 creatures.
Okay, so 11 more.
What are good? What are the other abilities we need? With these creatures,
Flying.
we've got
Be flying
trample, vigilance, reach.
and flying. Well, no, so trample, vigilance, and reach is all we're gonna have for just those. Yeah, so we need.
like 1 and 2 drops, at least a few. What are good 1 and 2 drops that are going to have more abilities that we can use?
Are we gonna stick with green for right now?
I don't care. Let's go 1 drop. So I'll search for converted mana cost up to 1. In standard and creatures.
Do you want to consider artifact? I mean, obviously, if we have enough creatures out there, cobbled wings will give the flying for anything that you equip it to, and then it'll
Give it to the Myriarch too.
We'll leave that on an option. See where we're at with the 1 drops, 2 drops, I guess, low drops.
Blightkeeper's a 1 drop, flying 1/1. You can pay 8 and sacrifice it to gain 4 life, and your opponent
What color's
loses
that?
4. It's black.
Oh, okay.
That's expensive though.
Yeah.
Bloodlust Insider can give something haste, but really that won't apply for the Myriarch. Daring Buccaneer's a 1 drop, but it doesn't have any abilities. Same with Tracker.
What about hexproof? I just came across the Jade Guardian, so I was just curious.
What's that one cost?
That's a 4 drop though. I don't know if I want to do a 4 drop for hexproof.
There's a fly. Do we have any other vampires? We don't yet, do we? Duskborn Sky Marcher is a 1/1 flyer. You can give vampires +1/+1. That's probably not worth it though.
No, because you never really, unless you did some sort of arcane adaptation swap. But then you stretch into a whole different ball game on that one.
Encampment Keeper has first strike, 1/1 with first strike. And I know there's a lot of like 2/1 1 drops that could take out without dying.
Oh yeah.
You can pay 8, tap it, and sacrifice it to give all your creatures +2/+2 until end of turn. It's something to think about.
Yeah. That stuff's all that. One flying creatures. Is there anything? There's not green, obviously. Green doesn't have flying, so flying is going to be black and white, and then occasional some blues. So, are we? Do you want to try the cobbled wings?
I don't know.
Tough one.
I feel like if we can find a creature in a 1 or 2 drop,
it's going to have a better option.
because it's going to benefit the Myriarch more. Ornithopter's a 0 drop with flying.
Yeah, well, there's your artifact. There's your artifact. It gives you the flying, but it's a pretty much useless card. I wonder how somebody will try to kill it, like, just to kill it, because, like, oh, it's a flyer, get rid of it. Like,
well, it's a 0 drop that gives your Myriarch flying and 2/2.
What's the 2/2 for? Oh, because
it's twice the number of creatures you control. So essentially, any creature you play is giving that +2/+2 and its ability.
Yeah, I'd say we just do that then. 4 of that. Or should we do 4? I guess is fine. Seems like a bit much, but
yeah.
What set's that from?
Ornithopter is from
Kaladesh.
Kaladesh, I think.
All right, well. That's that.
We don't have to use that one, but it's an option.
It's like, yeah, it definitely gives the +2 or the +2/+2. Whatever.
Skittering Heartstopper might be a good 1 drop.
Death touch
You
guy.
can pay 1 to give it Death Touch.
Yeah.
So then, before any combat phase, you could pay 1, give it Death Touch, and it would pass that off to the Myriarch.
Yeah.
We started out building this around the Hydra, and I feel like we've kind of switched gears and started building it around a different card.
No, that's okay. We'll just hopefully next time when we do our random draw, we don't get the Majestic Myriarch. It's like, well, we kind of already did a deck on that one.
Yeah.
Redraw.
Let's try bumping this up to 2.
You probably don't want to go blue, do you? Although Arrow Guide is kind of defeating the purpose, because if you attack with everything, it gets it flying, but it wouldn't
It'd
work.
be too late then.
Yeah. That's a 3-drop anyway. Would you like to unsummon something? Still getting nothing?
Well, a good... You know what's a good 2-drop? We'd have to go into black.
What's that?
Is the Gifted Etherborn.
Yeah?
because that'd give us Death Touch and Lifelink.
I'm in.
And it's kind of good on its own, too. A 2-drop, 2/3 with Death Touch and Lifelink.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, it's going to get targeted, but that's almost good to a certain extent because you start targeting stuff that you know people don't want on the field, they'll leave your other shit alone.
Yeah.
So, if we're switching to black, we got that. You've all seen that one, obviously. Most people should know what that one is. It's an excellent card.
We could get into some Menace, too, with another black 2-drop. Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
Hey, speak of the devil! Just happens to be in the same set, so yes. Throw that in there.
So then, I mean, obviously there's a lot of removal in the format, but if we got this, the Hydra, and the Mariarch out by turn 5, we'd have a we'd have an 8/8.
Does it count for itself?
Yeah. We'd have an 8/8 with Death Touch, Lifelink, Menace, Trample, Vigilance, and...
That's it.
No.
Vigilance and Reach.
Reach.
No flying, but at that point you're not needing it. For defense you're good, but for attack purposes, our Ornithopter could come into play if we're going to use that as an option. So, where we're sitting is 14 creatures right now. If that's what we want to go with.
Yeah, let me look here.
Got trying to take some notes. I don't miss anything. Alrighty. So 4 the Hydra. We said 4 the Excavator. For sure.
Yeah.
And then 3 of the Mariarch and 3 of the Swordtooth.
Oh, you know what else might be a decent green 1-drop? What's the little dude? I think he's a 1/2 or a 2/1 with Revolt. If you something leaves the battlefield,
It comes in with a 2.
it comes in with a counter and it has Death Touch.
Narnum Renegade. I think that's what we're talking about because I was putting that in the deck that I don't know why I did it. I was trying to use the Death Touch as a way to kill creatures for tokens and shit. I think it's Narnum Renegade. I don't know where that's at. Is that?
Let me look here. Yep. Yeah, I got it.
Did you find it?
Yeah, there's the.
That's Kaladesh, isn't it?
I don't know. It's still loading.
Hold on, I might find it before you get to it. I had it in here.
There it is. Oops. Yeah, Death Touch. It enters with a 1/1 counter if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. So even if you don't drop that
yeah, second
turn 1, if you
lands.
wait till turn 2 and do like Evolving Wilds, can you imagine playing Evolving Wilds, sacrificing it to go get another land, and then playing Evolving Wilds again and sacrificing it to go get another land?
Yes, you could, because you can play Evolving Wilds twice with Wavered out there, right? So that's the
Right.
idea.
If you just happen to not have anything in your hand, you
Hey,
could.
anybody want to tune with Aether, since those are highly used right now? Apparently got like 6 of them in here. I never did get into using that setup.
So where's that put us? Let me put it in here.
What the fuck is this Narnum Renegade?
4 Excavators and 4 Hydras. If we do the Mariarch at 3, and those other 3 cards at
3 each or 2?
maybe
Like
3 each, maybe 2 of these,
2 Glint Sleeves and
3 of the other. The
Yeah.
Gifted Aetherborn and the Renegade.
what's the Renegade? Oh, the Arm. Yeah. So, right. You said 3 of each of those.
That puts us at and the Swordtooth too.
I already put it on there. It's
Okay,
3.
as a 3.
Yeah. As a 3.
So that gives us
And Siphoner.
what? 5 2-drops. A 5.
You said 2 of the Siphoner.
7 3s. 4 4s.
12, 22 creatures right now. This is where we're at. We just do 2 of these guys. I think that's right. Yeah, because Renegade's not out here. I have it somewhere. I was going to put it out there just so they could see it, but I'm sure they all know what the hell it is.
Is there any 4-drop indestructible or hexproof in black?
No, but there's a indestructible green. I don't know what the drop is for Ronus. If we want to try to get crazy with that sound gun.
Well, we've already got like 7
That's
or 8
Death Touch
3
too.
drops. Maybe more than that. No, yeah, 7. 7 3 drops already. Indestructible, hexproof.
Well, your indestructibles are going to be your god cards, and then, well, of course, you got one. How many elder druids or elder dinosaurs are indestructible? Just Satalpa.
Just a Tulpa.
So I'm not going to go white. I wouldn't go to third colors to put her out there, or it, whatever you call it. Dinosaur.
Alright, let's do a search for... What's better, indestructible or hexproof?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on your setup. Hexproof can't do anything to it, but if it's indestructible, you can block with it all day long and it doesn't die. But then they can remove it somehow, hexproof, with a spell. I don't know. But nowadays, with the removal and the exile and the enchantments and stuff, I think hexproof is probably a better deal. Because your indestructible is still going to, you know, you have Ronus out there. If you went with Ronus or any of them when they're indestructible, all they could do is cast out and it's over. It's like, well, that was a waste. So.
Yeah.
So I think hexproof might be a better bet.
Is there any hexproof in green and black?
There is. I just said the Jade Guardian, which is a 3-drop.
Bristling Hydra.
Oh wait, what's about that one? New one.
Bristling Hydra, but I think we're kind of straying off path with the energy that way.
Yeah, it's a good card. Hold on. Just seen it earlier. I don't know where it's at.
Jade Guardian?
No. Is it Jade Guardian?
That is one, yeah.
That might be the one then.
It's a hexproof 2/2.
No, it's the Jungleborn Pioneer. What's the drop for it?
I think we should shoot for a 4, maybe?
A 4-drop?
Yeah.
You want something a little more aggressive?
Well, we've already got a lot of 3 drops.
Oh, okay. Well, the Jungleborn Pioneer is what I said is a 3-drop, but it brings a blue merfolk creature token with hexproof. I don't know if you want to do that as an option, just because it gives you 2 creatures for the Mariarch, plus the hexproof.
True.
And Ascend, it pumps that up. What was the other one?
It's got Ascend? Oh, no, we're
No,
working
it'll
for it
help
on that
you.
one.
It gives you 2 instead of 1. Is it Jade Guardian? What is that?
That one's just a 2/2 hexproof. When it comes in, you put a 1/1 on another Merfolk, but we don't have any other Merfolk,
Yeah.
so that'd be a waste.
I mean, it'll work, I guess, but
That one was a 3-drop or a 4?
3-drop. The Jade
3-drop.
Pioneer, or Jungleborn Pioneer. I guess 3-drop. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really good at ratioing whether I should have a certain amount of drops in my stuff compared to other things. That's probably what does me in half the time.
Let's see.
Nothing like having a stupid 1/1 out there they can't do anything to, just to give your other creature hexproof.
Yeah.
But that still also applies if, like, you're coming to a point where you have to defend against too much of attack. I mean, you got to chump it with something, and if it's your hexproof, it's your hexproof. But hopefully, at a certain point, you won't be that way. You won't be that in bad a shape. You'll be in better shape, and you don't have to block with it. Okay, so
What if we drop down a Sword Tooth to 2?
yeah, the old sword tooth. Drop him down to 2.
Drop an Excavator down 1.
3.
That gives us
Hydra
space for 4 creatures
12.
if we're trying to hit 25.
Well, which ones did you add? Did you pump one up?
No, what's your count?
Well, I had Hydra at 4, and we dropped Excavator down to 3, so that's 7. Mariarch was still at 3, that's 10. Sword Tooth dropped down to 2 is 12. Then Renegade and Aetherborn is 3 each, that's 18. And then 2 for the Siphoner, unless you upped it 1 I didn't know about.
That's 20.
So if we're doing 25 creatures, we got room for 5 more if you wanted to up the Siphoner. What else does the Siphoner do other than the Menace is nice, but it's energy.
It lets you draw if you can. Whenever it attacks, you get an energy.
So
At the beginning of your upkeep, you can pay 2 to draw a card, and you lose a life.
Okay. Is there any other? Well, what other menaces do we have out there? What about the zombie? What expense is it? The Marauding Bone Slasher, whatever. It's like 2-drop menace or 3-drop menace, maybe. Not that that's not important to have for the energy, but I don't know if that's like seems like a sort of a waste.
What card did you say?
I thought it was a Marauding Bone Slasher. I thought that was the zombie. Got a 4-drop Carrion Screecher. Yeah, 3-drop, 3/3. Marauding Bone Slasher can't block unless you control a zombie. That's not menace.
No.
There is one out there, I thought. Sorry, my bad.
There's the Alley Strangler. Is a 3-drop, 2/3 with menace. Emerald Bruiser. Enters tapped. Has menace if you control an artifact.
Now there's a black. I swear there's a black zombie creature that was menace, but I don't know which one it was. Don't mind me, I get my cards confused.
Maul Fist Squad is a 3/1 with menace and fabricate 1. That's a 4-drop. Well, if we drop that, that's gonna change our curves down. You know what we could do? What was the one we were just talking about?
I don't know.
Adding. If we drop those all together, add a Gifted Etherborn.
So it's like
give
4th
us
gifted
4.
Aetherbone?
Yeah.
Aetherbone.
And then if we want some card draw, what if we went with 3 copies of the Twilight Prophet at a 4-drop?
That's a good one.
Because we got
And that does
kind of high
what does it do?
curve.
I forget what that does.
It's also an Ascend card, so if you get the City's Blessing, then at the beginning of your turn you reveal the top card of your library. You draw X cards, your opponent loses X life, you gain X life, where X is that card's converted mana cost, and then it goes in your hand. So you're essentially drawing 2 cards at the beginning of every turn.
Okay, I like it. And it's a 4-drop?
That's a 4, yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
So we did 3 of those. And then what was the other one we were just talking about adding?
Well, we took out the. Are we taking out the menace and putting a different menace in? Are we going to keep that in there?
No, before we started talking about menace, we were looking at another creature.
Ugh, my brain hurts now. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Oh my gosh. I almost want to stop the video and go back
Nope.
and look.
There it is. It's Cursed Minotaur. 3/2, 3-drop.
Well,
If we wanted to have the menace, it just ups the curve a tiny bit from a 2 to a 3, but it's a stronger creature and it's menace. If that's something you want to do. Doesn't
it's
matter.
an option. I think getting rid of the Siphoner is good anyway, because it's the only energy.
Yeah, it didn't really have a whole lot
Card
of
we've
revolve
got.
around there. So, sorry, you're going back in my.
Back in the box!
Back in the box. Get in the box.
No. We were just talking about a card that we were going to add. A creature.
Well, was it the Pioneer one with the Merfolk Hexproof?
Yes. I think Hexproof is worth dropping in there. That's why I said we could get rid of that. That'll kind of help with our curve a little bit. What's it called?
It's Jungleborn Pioneer, I believe. You're in here somewhere. I just had you, literally. Yeah, Jungleborn Pioneer. Boom, right there. 3-drop. Jungleborn Pioneer enters the battlefield. Create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with Hexproof. So that gives you, obviously this creature doesn't apply to anything at that point after it's on the field, other than just to get the Hexproof. But if your Mario's already on the field of play, you just bumped it up 4 on its power
And gave it
toughness.
Hexproof during combat.
That'll piss somebody off, trust me.
So they'll have to deal with the Miriarch during first main, because after combat, it'll gain all those abilities.
Yeah.
So it'll have to be during the first main phase.
They'll have to try to kill it. Do we need to protect it then? Is that what you're saying? Like to keep it alive to get to our phase?
By my math here, that puts us at 25 creatures. Does that sound right?
Okay, so what did we drop off? The Siphoner went bye-bye.
Yeah.
And Hydra, Excavator was still the same. Mayrock still at 3. Swordtooth back to 2 still.
I got 3. Let's do them in order here so I
Okay.
don't get confused.
You're good.
1 drops. I got 3 Narnum Renegade.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's what, yeah.
Okay. 2 drops. We dropped the Siphoner and went with 4 Gifted Aetherborn.
Yep, 4.
3 drops. The 3 Jungle Pioneer.
Okay, I didn't have it done yet, but that's okay. I'm just writing it down so that if we lose a list, we got another list.
3 Ramunap Excavator.
Yep, 3.
And 3 Wayward Sawtooth. No, 2 Wayward
2.
Sawtooth.
Okay, we dropped down to 2.
Okay.
That could fluctuate depending on how it plays. We may swap something out, put another one in, I don't know.
And then
And 3
4 drops. We've got 3 Twilight Prophet.
Okay, I didn't have that one. I forgot we were talking about that. I was in the middle of looking for shit.
4 of the feature card, Ramunap Hydra.
You said 3 of the Prophet?
Yep.
4 of the Hydra, yep.
And then 3 of the 5-drop Mariark.
Marriott. Okay, so that does 8 and 15 is what? 23 and 2 is 20? Yeah, 25.
Alright,
Or
perfect.
25 creatures. Alright, I like it. Now, what are we going to do to support these bad boys?
Well, black and green.
That's always a fun one, no matter where you're at. I'm not going to probably sit in here, but it doesn't really revolve around the situation.
I think the best defensive options are going to be your Blossoming Defense.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what's the 1-drop, the black 1-drop?
You play that shit all the fucking time. The Supernatural Stamina.
Yeah. That doesn't give an ability though. Like, what am I thinking here?
Given ability.
Yeah. Like the Blossoming Defense
Gives hexproof.
gives something hexproof, which will then pass over to our other card.
Just for that moment, at least that turn. So if they decide they're going to try to, you know, walk the plank, they won't be able to if the merfolk's not out there to give it hexproof at that time.
Right.
But it'll hold hexproof for the turn.
So
at
we
least.
can maybe go with Blossoming Defense and 2-drop black card gives lifelink and indestructible.
Lifelink and indestructible.
Yeah.
You mean a cartouche? That's
No.
not curse. That's life. That's a good
It's
one
from
though.
Kaladesh. It's an instant.
Lifelink and indestructible.
Here, I'll look it up.
Is it black or is it green?
It's a black 2-drop. Here we go. Rush of Vitality.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
That was
Rush. Is that? That's a. What is that? Is it a common?
common, yeah. But that gives us 2 more abilities.
Just for the short amount of time.
Right.
Which would be excellent, which I wouldn't know why they wouldn't attack the Mirror Arc anyways, but if for whatever reason they would attack something else, then you...
Yeah, I got a feeling that's going to be our main target.
Yeah, if you're indestructible and you swung with the Mirror Arc, now you just gave it lifelink with that card as well.
Right.
That's pretty funny.
If we don't have the...
Is that really a common? You said Kaladesh? How
yeah.
can't I find this sumbitch in here? I got like a whole stash of cards.
Rush of Vitality right there. You need to look at the picture?
No, I see it. I see it. I was just curious. I think I'd have it in there.
This is going to be slow, though. So we might want to run a couple copies of, like, Fatal Push or Walk the Plank or something. Probably Fatal Push, just to keep threats off the field at the start of the game.
Yeah. Could see that being it. It would help, and it doesn't have to be threats. Like, if they could be something tiny, you know, no big deal. But if it's something that's going to start, you know,
But like, Carrie Zev punches you in the face for 3 every turn.
5.
5.
Oh, 3, she's at 1 and 1, 3 and a 2,
1, 3,
1.
yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking she's a 3-1. Yeah.
She's,
But still, yeah, she punched you in the face.
and then the stupid double strike pirates, the 2-drop 2/2 double strike.
Yeah, but they have to have a send, don't they?
Yeah,
But still,
but you could still late
get
game
rid of
if
it.
they've
Get
got
rid of it
that.
early. Or was it they start to get a send, just kill it and piss them off? Like, yeah, I just got a send. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're dead.
So if we do like 4 blossoming defense, 3 rush of vitality, and 3 fatal push, or 4 blossoming defense, 4 fatal push, and 2 rush of vitality.
Just want to go with 4 and 2 on that. I guess it's one thing to do.
That would give us 6 cards to defend ourselves with.
Not a lot, but it'll be so 2 rush fatalities just to protect. Since we're running black and green, I guess that's really the only options we have. I mean, you got Renegade's Getaway, but that's a little more expensive, and you do get a token, so
It's expensive, and I think we're already kind of slow.
Yeah, it's more of a if you have it, then it protects you at the end. But like,
we need to hit land drops for our first 5 turns.
Yeah, I only like that card more than anything because it's not just creatures; it protects other stuff. So if you got a heavy enchantment or artifact base, it protects that shit too. So,
how many cards is that total?
So, and then you went with how many fatal pushes were you wanting to go with?
I said 4.
Spending money. It's a good thing I got a couple and you got a couple already. Huh?
Yeah.
So we just did 4, 2, and 4. So that's put us at 10. So we're at 35 now with creatures, and then
that leaves us
10
room
spells.
for 25 lands.
If we're straight at 60, yeah.
Which is probably, it's higher than normal, but I think with our high curve we need.
Yeah, we got a higher curve. You didn't want to do any of the monuments to make anything cheaper, or I mean, Immortal Sun, but that's expensive to get out there. But that's nice to have.
Yeah,
that's a good card.
That's a 6-drop. I feel like
that that expands our curve quite a bit.
I feel like by that time too, like we need to hopefully hit that Miriarch consistently on turn 5.
Yeah.
And then that thing comes out as a beast.
Yeah. All right. I just didn't know if you wanted, as far as making creatures cheaper, if that was.
No, I mean it's okay. What are we dropping for it though?
Oh, I don't know. If we wanted to keep a high 25 creature base, we probably won't be able to add it. You would have to drop the creatures out, because I think even having the 10 spells to protect what we want to keep on the field is you have to probably keep there. Because you start dropping those spells, then you're going to not have what you need, and then you're going to lose it, and then you have to try to get it back. And
yeah.
I mean, if anything, you could drop a couple creatures and maybe 1 spell, maybe 1 fatal push. And then a creature and put in 2 Ronuses in there just so that you have... How many green, I guess, do we have? And what's the cost or the high cost of them?
We've got the Jungleborn Pioneers a 3-drop.
Which so is Excavator would be a 2-drop if it's out there. Yeah.
Miriarch's a 5. I think that with being able to play the extra land starting on turn 3...
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
We should be able to hit that curve.
Probably will.
Pretty easy.
Well, we'll keep it in mind for sideboard, or maybe for an adjustment if it's not panning out. We'll just use it as a side note. So,
because if we go with a turn 3 Sword Tooth, then next turn we happen to have 2 lands in hand, we can drop both those and go turn 4 Miriarch.
True. I think I like it. That's fine. I like it. I dig it.
Alright. Lands.
Alright, so what deserts we want to put in there? We've got black and green. Black,
I think, is the best sack desert anyway. What's the...
the green costs 2 to sack.
The Ifnir?
Desert of the Indom... Well, I gotta go to the uncommon, so we gotta go to the other deserts. Gotta find them.
Yeah, I think we run 4 of these.
You wanna run 4 of those?
Well...
The cycle ones?
Maybe 3 of these? I don't know. We'll have to figure them out.
So we got...
We're a little higher on green than we are on black. Let's count here. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 black mana in all of our costs, and then... Wait, 1, 2, 18 total black mana. 20. Remember, 20.
20 black mana.
And then... 22 Hey, we got a new follower on Twitter.
That's not where we want them. Are they following us on Twitter?
Yeah.
I didn't know we did Twitter.
You didn't know we did Twitter?
No, you started this, and I didn't know. You said something about having a Twitter account the other day. I think it was at the
We're on Twitter
Game
and
Preserve.
Twitter and Facebook.
No, I don't use Twitter, but you need to get me access to it apparently, so I'm not the idiot not paying attention.
At LMMG 2018.
I'll figure it out later. That's all right.
That was a... I'm trying to promote us here.
Oh, promote away!
At LMMG 2018 on Twitter and Facebook. Go to our page on Facebook and like us.
Twitter the shit out of it.
All right, back to our deck. We're looking at lands.
Yep. So I've got Hashep Oasis. That's the one you can do the plus add. Tap 2 force and then 1 other and sacrifice a desert. Target creature gets +2/+2 another turn. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery.
Okay.
Beneficial. You got to pay 1 life to get your mana though if you need it. If you need it forced.
Yeah.
If you need it forced. But sacrificing desert, guess what? Puts it back in the field of play with Ramunap Excavator. So.
And we need more green than black. So my little list here.
Dunes of the Dead is beneficial if you want to sack the deserts because you can play that again. Plus, it also puts a token out when it's sacrificed.
When it goes into the graveyard, you
Yes,
get a 2/2 zombie.
Put into a graveyard from battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So that gives you your Mariarch pump as well, plus the desert that goes in for the Hydra.
So if you're sitting on 6 mana and you don't have anything to play, but you've got these in play, you could tap 3. 2 trees.
You didn't have any mana.
2
though.
trees and this one. Sacrifice it to get a zombie. Replay it if you've got the excavator out there, and do it again.
If you had nothing in hand, you mean?
Yeah.
So you had nothing in hand, you had 6 mana on the field, not counting these 2.
So that's a good one.
Well, you'd have to tap this one though, so you'd have to have 2 of these out there. So this has to be tapped. Sacrifice that, do that, play zombie. And
Oh,
if there's another
good call.
there's another Oasis out there, tap. But you never know. You could be at that phase where you have 7 mana or however it is. I mean, with this, you could have a fuck ton of mana. I don't know. Grasping Dunes. It's a colorless, but you can put a 1/1 counter, negative counter on a creature if you want to do that. It's something.
What's the black one? This? No, not this one.
Yeah, I don't have it. Apparently, I didn't have that.
Here, I'll look it up.
I'm out of those. Sorry, man.
You're alright.
It's my fault. I don't have any.
If near Deadlands.
Oh, that's why, because I gave you all those. You needed those for something the other deck a while back. You took all my Ifnirs.
Pay 4, sack, tap and sack a desert. Not this one. And you can be this one. Whatever. It puts 2 -1/-1 counters on a creature. How much did that one cost to activate?
Which one was it?
1.
Grasping Dunes? Yeah, and a colorless. It doesn't have to be anything.
Do you have to sacrifice that one?
No, yeah, so you have to
Yeah.
sacrifice a specific desert. So it's that one or...
So we could go with this one maybe, because that gets us our black. I think this is the best sack land of the set,
Okay.
because then you can sacrifice this again.
Right. It's a little more expensive, but it gets a good counter. Even
Gets
there's
two
a lot of
counters.
a lot of 2 toughness creatures out there in the standard right now that are very effective. So it'll get rid of those, or 1 of them at a time. So that's an option. So, all right. So having said that, how many are we going to put in each, and what colors are we going to need actual straight colors
What
of?
I'm looking at here. Did you do the Cradle of the Accursed? Yeah.
It's over here, but I didn't. No, I didn't. I threw it out there.
Desert of the Glorified.
I don't have. Oh yeah.
Desert of the Indomitable is the green one.
I don't have that one.
It's the same as this
Oh,
green
we
right
had,
here.
oh, I did have it. I'm an idiot.
Then you had the Dunes of the Dead. Do you have the Hashep Oasis? Yeah,
This
right here.
this one is good. It doesn't do you a whole lot, but it when it enters
1 damage.
1 damage, you play it back 1 damage. So I mean, that's something.
And you can use it right away. It doesn't come in tapped.
Okay.
If near Deadlands you didn't have any of, I just showed the picture.
Yeah.
So if we got 25, I feel like we need to start out. Do you have any Blooming Marsh?
What's that from?
Kaladesh.
I
It's the
think I
green
had-
black. It comes in untapped if you have 2 or fewer lands.
I had one of those at a point in time, but I don't know if I still have it. That we'll put it on our to buy list. No, see it.
Alright, so if we do 4 of
Is
those,
there not any newer cards that are dual lands that are that color?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I feel like there should be something.
Yeah, there are, but they're not fast lands.
Yeah.
They're coming tapped. I can't think what it's called.
Yeah. Hostile Desert wouldn't really work because we'd have to exile a land card, and that would kind of take.
You have to exile it?
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
take
that's
away
not
our
gonna work.
purpose.
So Bloomin' Marsh.
Bloomin' Marsh.
And then maybe do like 3 of these and 2 of these since we're higher on green.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that'll give us some 5 cards with the cycling option.
Yeah.
So I'm not spelling that out.
It's pretty cheesy though. You get this out there on that. I like that the way that works. So you may play land cards from your graveyard. So cycle this, draw a card, put it in your hand, and then it goes back on the field. It does come in tapped, but it's going to come in tapped anyway.
Right.
So it's not really a huge loss. You're going to be able to cycle it, draw it, still put it back on the field.
Get some extra card draw.
Yeah.
I like that. How many are you thinking on the Dunes of the Dead?
Well, I don't know if I'd go crazy on it since it's colorless, but it does give you the option for, zombies, which helps out later down the road. Where are we at as far as straight color? I mean, like black and green mana. I mean, are we going to be able
What
to?
we need?
Yeah.
We're
Maybe just start with 2 of this then, and then move on.
maybe 2 of each of these?
Yeah. So put 2 of those in there.
Dunes of Dead.
Cradle of Cursed. So Blue Marsh. Dunes of Inimitable, Dunes of Glorified. So we got those 2 and those 2. And Blue Marsh. Are we going with the Heshep or no?
Yeah. Maybe do 3 of each of those.
3 of the Heshep.
3 of the Heshep and 3 of the Ifnir.
Okay. Where does that put us?
Is there any other that we need to consider?
As far as desert lands or just lands in general? I don't know. I think so.
Deserts.
I mean, you have the Sunscorched Desert as an option. That's the lose a life. Nothing exciting, but
That's another colorless.
yeah.
So that would give us 3. I don't know if that'll hurt us or not.
To be honest, with as much life damage they may or may not get, this may just be they're not really going to change much. It's picking away at life, but it gives us a desert to sack that we really don't need to have on the field if we want these for something else.
Yeah.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
Well, we've got 6 spots left, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
So
20,
six
22, 23, 24, 25.
6 spots left.
So if we did 2 of those, 2 forests, 2 swamps.
You don't want regular color out there?
What?
Like you don't want black and green, just standard lands?
I said 2 forests, 2
Oh,
swamps.
I thought. Did you already have these in here?
Huh?
No.
No. So
2
if
of
we want to
those.
do these, it'd be like 2 of these, 2 forests, 2 swamps. If we want to skip that one, we could do 3 forests, 2 swamps. And that still puts us heavy on the green because we're running extras of the other the green deserts.
I just don't want to get stuck not having the color. I mean, we're obviously going to get color from these guys, which is fine, and then the blooming marsh. But if you think that'll work out, like just to get the color we need,
That puts us at...
we don't have any double. This is the only one that's a concern for play. The double drop swamp.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to see how many we've got that give us green and red, black.
Playing red now, guys.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that give us green without swamps or forests. So if we add in 3 forests, that'd give us 13 green mana options.
Okay.
And then black was the, what, glorified?
That
So
one
that's
only.
6,
And then if near.
7, 8, 9.
And if near.
So that'd give us 12 black if we do 3 of each,
Is that about the right combo?
probably.
Alright. Sounds good.
That's 60 cards.
And we're not going to do Sunscorched Desert.
Right.
Scrap it. Scrap it. 60 cards. Alright, cool.
Dude, you're gonna get ink poisoning if you keep chewing on your pen.
Leave me out of this. I got problems, apparently.
That's 60.
Alright, so that's what we've got so far, and looks like we put a deck together. So, I guess, what, Thursday? In a couple days? A couple days towards the end of the week?
Yeah, hopefully we can get it put together and test it in the next day or two, and then Thursday we'll post the official deck tech video.
And since we're missing a lot of these cards that we need on here, and apparently 2, 3, or 4, actually quite a few of them are coming out of our destination anyway, we got a box that we're going to open tomorrow, conveniently enough. We decided to order one last week. It was a fair price, so we'll open that tomorrow as well, and we might have a special giveaway for that box opening as well if you tune in to our special channel. Just throwing it out there. But either way, you'll get the video for that tomorrow or the next day after we open it.
So box opening tomorrow, do some testing on Wednesday, and post the deck tech on Thursday.
I like it.
Alright, let's see what happens.
So there's our video of building a deck.
That was black and green Ramunap Hydra brainstorming.
Brainstorming. Hope you like it. Deuces.
Deuces.
We do